4,000 meters, La Paz is the world's highest capital. Poverty-stricken peasants arrive every day from the countryside. Most patients of the Kallawaya now live in the large cities. The Kallawaya purchase the supplies they need to practice their healing rituals on Jimenez and Linares streets in La Paz. They treat people on the nearby street of Saganaga. Condor feathers, llama fetuses, mysterious powders. The inventory in this shop is endless. Max buys condor feathers, which he will take with him to the mines at Potosi. Dr. Walter Alvarez Quispe is a Kallawaya with a medical degree from Havana, although he continues to practice the traditional medicine of his people. This patient moved to the United States. Whenever she travels to La Paz, she always consults a Kallawaya doctor. A traditional healer gives her much more time and attention than a university-trained doctor. She says their medicine has no soul, and they don't take enough time with patients. Max watches the consultation. Walter has loaned him his office. After the consultation, Walter prescribes a balm for his patient.
Esta es la pomada hecho, o sea que sería el papá del mentizán. El mentizán ha aprendido los Kallawayas, de los abuelos han aprendido, ¿no? El mentizán es famoso. En Argentina, hasta en Europa quieren llevar mentizán. Porque la medicina natural es una medicina más preventiva, una medicina natural, casi con la alimentación, ¿no? Con la alimentación, con las plantas, minerales y alimentos, ¿no? Entonces, yo me doy cuenta también que es importante. Si me dicen que es importante y hay que rescatarlo, no se puede perder la psicología, la música, la cultura. Tiene que ver la medicina, tiene que ver con la cultura y con la ciencia, saber de los abuelos y con la religiosidad de los pueblos, ¿no?
As always, Max offers advice by telephone to patients who are worried and in pain. Max and Johnny have reached the hills of La Paz. Max shows Johnny the city.
Sopucachi, acá na con San Francisco, acá Plaza Morillo, acá Ucocana, Achumane, Chacotacota, Chimpa Ubihuyo, no, acá Patapian en Salaguna, una Javapón, Cujampenco, Tocoy Pachamama, Tocoy na, Tocoy Manta, no.
Only wealthy people live in the lower sections of La Paz. The poorest live in the Altos at 4,500 meters. It's hard to sleep at that altitude. It causes migraines. The effigy hanging from a lamppost is a reminder that a thief was lynched by a mob here. It's a warning from the community to bandits. The poverty-stricken areas of La Paz are growing constantly. Hundreds of thousands of poor people are packed into dilapidated shanties. Max and Johnny live in a modest house in the hills of the Bolivian capital. Max plans to travel to Potosi. The silver miners are suffering. They need him and the Kallawaya science. The arrangement of coca leaves on the blanket will tell him if he should make the trip or not. Coca plays a major role in the everyday lives of the Andean people. It alleviates the effects of altitude, wards off hunger, and reveals destinies. The bus schedule in the Altiplano is extremely unpredictable, as the roads are deeply rutted by rain and cold.
La Paz, anda con los chamunieres.
Are, gunanoga, guide Hamuchan, Potosi Trichana, guide Mandre Gunara.
Chaymantere,
Are, Jamada, Jacta Cotebusa.
La Paz Ninka.
Are, La Paz.
The Kallawaya are extremely friendly to strangers they meet. Chatting, exchanging news of other people is part of getting to know each other. You can always learn something new, they say. Travel is crucial in Kallawaya medicine. Healers regularly go to Peru and Ecuador. Some practice in Argentina and Chile. They learn their art on the road. The old buses in the hinterland are the classrooms for their itinerant universities. In its golden age, Potosi was one of the wealthiest cities in the world. The Cerro Rico, the rich mountain, towers over the city. Silver ore has been mined here since the 16th century. They say the silver taken from the mountain would pave a road from Potosi to Madrid. The Miners' Square commemorates the 1952 revolt, when the miners rebelled against the abominable working conditions. Since then, the Potosi mines have been run by independent cooperatives that dig wherever they choose, totally ignoring the danger. The world below is the empire of Tio, the demon uncle. As the miners head to work in the morning, they first stop at his shrine. They offer coca leaves, cigarettes, and alcohol. The miners ask the devil to protect them and guide them to the ore that will make them rich. Tio has ruled the mine for over 400 years. He's violent, capricious, tyrannical. Oxygen is scarce at 4,300 meters. None of the safety measures used for decades in modern mines exist here. The air, thick with dust, is stifling. Nearly all the miners suffer from silicosis. Silica dust particles embed themselves in the lungs, forming lesions. After years of suffering, victims die asphyxiated. The sticks of dynamite are of poor quality. They're sold individually by small dealers set up around the mine.
Vamos a hacer un cachito. Esto aquí es lo que pasa.
The fuses are homemade. The combustion speed varies from one manufacturer to another. The miners never know how much time they'll have to take shelter. They retreat to a room far away from the working face.
Haz un charito más pequeño.
They count the explosions, making sure all the charges are fired. Sometimes a stick doesn't explode or is forgotten in a tunnel. Woe to the miner who finds it. The ore is sent to a processing center where the silver is extracted. As the price for precious metals continues to rise, the miners take ever greater risks. Mathias has been working for 10 years at the Caracoles cooperative mine, one of the oldest in Potosi.
Buenos días, señor. Yo me llamo Mathias de Villanueva. Yo cuando soy joven ya en la mina La Riva me ha pasado un accidente. Y un día lunes de carnaval fui sinceramente a caer. Entre dos teníamos que ir. A las 5 de la tarde nos teníamos que encontrar en el barquito. Y del barquito mi compañero no ha aparecido. Yo solito me fui. Le he esperado hasta las 9, 10 de la noche. He entrado solito y el sereno no quería que entre. ¿Para qué estás entrando solito? Como te puede pasar también algo, me dijo. No, yo no, con mi capricho me he entrado. Esa vez le llamábamos Queyrat, entonces yo le hacía llenar mineral la Queyrat. Y entonces, al poco rato me llama de mi nombre. Mathias me dijo de mi nombre. De hecho, horas ya estoy haciendo, mira, ya estoy haciendo llenar también la cunita mineral. Salimos a pichar, me dijo. Ella, hermanito, cara, pero ¿por qué horas pues? Es que me he atrasado, tenía un atrasito. De ese modo tarde he subido, me dijo. Ya entonces casi 10 minutos más haciendo, entonces he salido. He salido afuera al pichadero, el compañero no había nadie, absolutamente no había nadie. Y cuando se ha debido ir al baño, he pichado y me he llevado traguito más, con traguito más, un corazón más durito, un poco me voltó, entonces con 3 chicas he pichado, nada de aparecer. Cuando he ido al baño no había nadie también.
Matthias is convinced that he met Tio and that the devil almost took his life to punish him for not stopping work during Carnival.
Así le he dejado, me he salido. Y cuando al ser le he dicho, ¿quién ha dicho? Nadie. ¿Pero quién me ha hablado? Me ha hablado de mi nombre, me ha hablado. No había nadie, ¿quién dentro? El único que yo había entrado solito. Esa vez me ha asustado, demasiado susto tenía, compañero.
Porque hay hierba con una inmediata. Entonces, callata, madre inflamación.
Max sells his remedies at the Uyuni market.
Medicinas,
The Uyuni market is where the traditional doctors sell their cures. The Kallawaya doctors are highly respected, but charlatans sometimes take advantage of this. They pretend to be Kallawaya and prescribe plants gathered on the side of the road, which are useless and sometimes toxic. These dangerous imposters harm the traditional healers, but they have no way to expose them. The penniless populations of the high plateaus mistrust modern medicine, which is profoundly foreign to their culture. The plants and ointments are the only remedies they trust and can afford. Mathias explains to Max that he's suffering from susto, a depression caused by the fear that haunts the miners. The inhuman working conditions ruin their health and destroy their physical harmony. Max considers Mathias's condition sufficiently serious for a complete cure. He will visit him at home. The Kallawaya treat patients as well as their homes. In the meantime, Max prescribes a medicinal mixture that will temporarily soothe his fear.
Medicinas.